welcome back to Harper's Shed. This time in the shed, we're going to make ourselves an anvil. I've been wanting to make an anvil for quite a long time. Really, for what I do, there's no point. Just a bit of dicking around in the shed on a weekend. Got myself a piece of railroad track, and I do want to try and make it similar to that design. I think it looks cool, and it seems to have a lot of functionality points to it. What I want to do is retain that step. So there's a step there, and then there's another step in front of the horn there. I don't want to have to machine a big chunk out of the top to get that step, so I'm going to use this big piece of steel here. I also want a hardy hole in the back. The hardy hole is technically square, but I don't have any way to make a decent square hole. This bit's good because it's already got a hole in it as well. So what we're going to do, cut this to length. I'm going to cut it off about there, weld it onto there, and then we're going to shape the railroad track and make this front section into the horn. So we'll end up with our nice step, and then the horn on the front, the hole in the back, and it's still pretty decent length and good bit of weight to it. The other bonus about this bit of steel, I will show you, is it's a pretty high quality piece of steel. Don't know where it come from, but it is old. So, railroad tracks, I don't actually know their composition, but they are pretty good shit. This is harder again. So an easy way to test how sort of hard steel is, not so much toughness, but hardness, is see how it goes with a center punch. Now, I'll bring you in and give you a look. That did a decent mark, but it's pretty hard. That one went deeper. That's one way to do it. Another way is with a file. The harder a material is, the file will tend to skate off it, and this is a pretty sharp file, it's not that old. A file will tend to skate off it. If it's a softer material, obviously it'll bite more. Now, railroad tracks, they file relatively easily. It's certainly much better than mild steel. This unit up here, you might not be able to hear the difference, but it tends to skate off it more than actually dig into it. So that's another bonus about using this. Don't know what it is, it's just better than that. So, all right, mark it out, cut it. I'm going to machine the surface, the top surface of that, so that I get a good contact point. I'm going to machine that flat, we're going to lay it down, and then I'm going to weld it all together, and we'll plasma out the shapes and make it look pretty. So. So, machined on 3 sides, well 5 actually, both ends are square. This side is still mill scale, but I'm going to worry about that. I'm going to machine that once it's welded to the track. So next up I'm going to mount the railroad track in the mill, get it flat, and then I'll sort of bring the tail end so it's nice and machined square as well. The rest of it's all going to get cut off, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, railroad in the mill. Alright, all machined. So, machine surface, clamped together. I'm going to weld it now. I think that's going to be better to get it welded and out of the way. I'm going to stick it because I don't have any gas and I'm too much of a tight ass to go and buy some. Just GP rods, they're 4113s. I've got a little stick welder we've got, but it does pretty good, so we'll see. proof of concept. Seems to work. Alright, we're going to mark it out and I'm going to fire up the plasma cutter, get some shape into this bad boy and make it all curvy, make it look good. Squiggles later. The red line is our rough shape, so I'm going to plasma it. I'll see how we go. It should cut it. Anyway, I'll cut it as much as I can and grind the rest. Not having a particularly good run. The plasma died on me, so I finished just hacking that out with the oxy. And then I ran out of acetylene. So we're back to a good old grinder. That's revised profile. So in and around there and down. And then I cut these feet forward on an angle, and I'm going to do the same. So they'll come from, you can't really see it on the camera, but they'll come from there out to this corner. And hopefully it'll look half decent. And then I'm going to have to come in here and try and cut as best as I can this bulk material off here and then start shaping the horn. So let's keep going. That took some work. That took some proper grinding. Anyway, points are cut. So I'm going to come back in here, mark that angle there, cut that, and then that'll be the last of the cutting, and then it's just crap loads of grinding. Alright, all profiled and looking dangerous. See, to a point. Cut that bottom section off just so I don't have to grind away so much material, but it's getting serious. So let's go to the most dangerous tool in the workshop. It's pretty pointy. That little divot there is really annoying me. It's just from where I cut the angle on the front, but I'm going to have to try and pull a little bit more off this portion of the cheek, but I mean, that's pretty shiny. I think we're almost there for the horn, and then we're just going to come through and cut the back section out, put it up in the mill, skim it, and we're good to go. So that sucked. What we got there, what I ended up doing is setting it back up in the mill and used carbide hole saw. So I used a 2-inch carbide hole saw, made 2 cuts out of there, come with the grinder, snip that, and then in both these sides, and yeah. So anyway, bust the 9-inch out again and finish the shape off, and then throw it in, skim that section, and we're done. I think it sort of resembles the original image, so that's good. It was a fair bit of work. It was more work than I was thinking, but I mean, it's pretty decent. It came out good. They're all machine surfaces and sort of hand filed, and it looks like an anvil. It's certainly heavy like an anvil. I haven't weighed it, but it's got to be probably every bit of 30-40 kilos. Needs a good base, so next time I go out firewood cutting, I'll keep an eye out for a good trunk and cut a nice solid round. But I mean, I've got an anvil, so next logical step, I think I'm going to have to build a forge. So if you want to see that, subscribe, notification, and I mean, we've got to build a forge, don't we? And then try and make something with it. So Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it because I had fun making it. So, alright, we'll catch you on the next one.